So, what is the metacrisis? Well, how do you solve a problem? Or at least try to? You have to understand the problem, right? Well, first, you have to recognize that there is a problem. We might think the problem is climate change, or inequality, or wars, or an increasing cost of living, and yes, they are all problems. Collectively, along with at least 60 other topics, they make up the metacrisis. They feed into each other, they intertwine, and they accelerate each other. The metacrisis is a relatively interchangeable term with polycrisis or catabolic collapse or great simplification or whichever one you like. Ultimately, they all kind of lead to the same destination, which is a breakdown from complex society or complex functioning society to a simplified space, and a breakdown of the ecosystems that provide a stable planetary system for us. I like the metacrisis personally because it captures not just the environmental aspects of the problems we face, but the human element and what it is psychologically that drives us in this direction. So I choose the metacrisis, though it's a matter of semantics. We need to recognize the sheer scale and velocity, the interconnected nature of all of these problems we face, not just as New Zealand, but as a global society. We're on the brink of catastrophic change, and we aren't doing anywhere near enough to address it, let alone even really talking about it here. The metacrisis isn't our future, it's actually unfolding now. We just haven't noticed it yet. And unfortunately, we're pretty much all too busy to notice. Regardless of our political views, or spiritual values, or financial assets, or any other way that we separate ourselves from one another, we are all going to be affected by this. It's in everyone's interests, it's in the Earth's interests, that we pay attention to the metacrisis and do everything we can to extend the glide, to soften our landing,